Alright gang, we're back at it. I am currently at Cannon Beach. It's the same day as the last video, if you watched the last video. And I just made my way a few hours down or north of where I was when you saw me at the falls. I'm really just here for sunset today. However, I'm going to... I've shown these filters before. They're the Freewell system, but I'm gonna kind of hack it because since the sun is out light and bright, I want to do some long exposures. But to do long exposures, obviously you open your shutter. That allows tons of light in, so somehow you got to knock that light down. You can't do that with ISO because you can only go down to 200 or 100 as a base. And then obviously aperture, you can crank that up to like f16, f22. f16 is my max for the most part. Sometimes I do f22, but that's nearly not enough. So you need some filters. Since I use the Freewell magnetic system, I put this base on first, and then it's just kind of like a ring, but it's the base for all of the system. I'm actually going to hack it, and I'm going to... Got a little sand on there. Okay, I'm going to hack it. I'm going to put a 10-stop ND and just slap it right inside of the front here, and then that sits right inside. Just happens to. I had it previously, and then this is the 6 to 10 stop. 6 to 9 stop ND, and then so I can really essentially have 19 stops of darkness, if you will. And so I can feel there's some sand in here already. Yikes. Okay, so I'm at 19 right now, so it's gonna be really, really dark, and it is. So if you're wondering why I'm even doing this, it's because I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from sunset, and the sun is going to drop down right behind the, I think it's called the haystack. That doesn't sound right, but I believe that's the big rock out here. There's a lot of rock formations out in the ocean. This is the most popular, and it's not why I'm here. It's because it's big, and I didn't want to walk too much further down the coast, because the ones down there are a little bit smaller, and this one just it has a nice presence. What I want to do right now is kind of just flatten out the water with a long exposure, almost like a fine art image, and get that, and then do a couple different shots. I did some earlier when I was coming down the coast. I stopped at quite a few different stops, so I'll put those on the screen right now. And so yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that, and essentially I'll walk you through what I'm gonna do here, and then it should be sunset by that time, and well, by the magic of YouTube it will be, and we'll get some shots and we'll call it a day. All right, I'm not gonna lie, where I was sitting back there by that log and on my backpack, I was comfy. I was ready for a siesta, my friends. Like I said, I have the hacked or double stacked ND filters, a 10 stop and essentially a 9 stop on there, and I've got them maxed out. So about 19 stops. Doesn't always bode well for clarity of an image, but since we're gonna be obscuring the whole image, we're gonna flatten out the ocean. We'll get closer to the ocean and almost in the water in a little bit as the sun goes down. We'll shoot some of those, but then we'll just shoot proper sunset shots. I'm gonna do a test shot here. I'm in bulb mode, but I'm gonna go past 30 seconds. So your typical camera, more often than not, your manual will go up to 30 seconds, but if you need more than 30 seconds, you'll need to go into bulb mode. And if you don't have bulb mode, you're going to need a interval timer. That's just the reality of long exposure. So, all right, let's get it done. Couple things. I've got my lens on manual focus, so it said it's not going to breathe, it's not going to move. I also have the stabilizer off. Oh, it was off. No, is it off? Off. So it doesn't fool the lens. Like there should be stabilization, so there shouldn't be any right now because we don't want any movement. Try to eliminate as many of the jitters as possible. and we're gonna fire this off. I'm gonna go about 35-40 seconds. It'll be a game time decision. I got it focused on the far left rock, but I'm at f/16, so I have a good depth of field in terms of what's going to be in focus. So let's run it. 2-second timer as well to eliminate any shake. Now it is a little windy out here, but not too bad back here, so I'm hoping I don't get any of that shake. All right, we are at 35 seconds. I'm gonna take a look. All right, kind of cool. Turned out okay. I mean, I've got some lens flare and things of that nature happening. I mean, the sun is directly right almost in front of the lens, so I don't want to do too many more of those shots, but we'll probably angle off here in a second. Plus, the sun's going to drop at kind of behind the haystack. I need to get the name of that rock. So yeah, Haystack Rock, and whilst I did look it up, I found out that it's the 3rd largest monolith in the world. What? That's cool. That's pretty cool. It's right in front of me. It's neat. I think it's like 240 feet from the base or the water all the way up to the top, so pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, since the sun's kind of over off my left side of my face, I'm just going to isolate on the Haystack Rock. If you watched yesterday, I talked about how portrait orientation, I think I was calling it mode, but portrait orientation is not my favorite, because, I don't know, I just like using, I guess I'm using the same amount of the sensor, but I guess just up and down seems not as full to me. I don't know why. It's my problem, it's a me problem, not a you problem or it problem. It just happens to be what it is. So nonetheless, anyways, we're gonna go for it. I'm going to isolate the rock right here in front of us, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I think I'm gonna go 40 seconds, and I'm gonna dial it in a little bit. I'm gonna put it dead center. So while that shot's going, I want to talk about not necessarily worrying about people in your shot. In fact, it might be a foreground interest or provide you a foreground interest if you don't have one, especially if they don't move for the length of time that you're running the long exposure. If it's 30 seconds, good luck. There's probably no one that's going to stand there for 30 seconds unless they were leaning on something. So more likely they'll move and they'll have a little bit of ghosting, especially if they're in the same area. But if they're just walking in front, if it's a 30 to 40 second exposure, they're going to come into your frame and out of your frame, and they won't even show up. And I'm probably a little bit silhouetted right now, but I wanted to show you that we've moved down even further. So this side of the haystack is catching some of the light. Most of the shots that we've taken just previously, it's so backlit that you're obviously not getting that much revealed in the front side, the side we're looking at. But since we've got a little bit of a catch light on the side, let's see if it picks it up in our longer exposure now. I'm going to leave this on an open shutter to about, I'm going to go 50 seconds. I might even push a minute and see what happens. I'm going to show it to you regardless. If it's blown out, it's blown out, but I want to show it to you regardless. And as you can see, some people are walking through the frame right now, and it's okay because we're at 42 seconds, so it's all good. 42 seconds, it's gonna go a minute. We're at 50 seconds, so I think a minute's gonna be good. We might even need a little more. All right, let me check it out. All right, I'm making a change. Not that it matters. I'm going to landscape orientation. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually leave the shutter open for 2 minutes straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. Okay, so here's the update. We are getting closer and closer, and so I'm gonna try to just do a lot of different shots. I mean, you've got the 3 big rock formations. There's one hidden behind the second smaller one, and I'll probably not run, but go that way to get that. I mean, I may not get the sun. The idea is this, that there are 2 rock formations over there, and the sun drops down behind, and a lot of people like to get the sun between those 2 rock formations. Where I'm gonna try it, like I told you earlier, sit it right down on these rocks. I mean, it's neither here nor there. I may go over and try to shoot that one before or after. The waves are really starting to hit the those center rocks that I was talking about really nicely. So I don't know, maybe I can get some spray going with the sun behind it. I think it's a good shot. I may stay right here. Just I don't know. Dun dun dun. We're getting some pretty good light here, so I moved over here to get the 2 stacks, as you can see right behind me here. And then, yeah, there's some light clouds in the sky, so things are turning out. Silhouette looks good. Thank you. Perfect. So we did it, y'all. We conquered sunset and really daylight at Cannon Beach, and it was a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed it, learned a little bit, or just enjoyed the process with me, because I certainly did. And right now I'm just looking at the beauty that is, you know, Mother Earth, and no more pictures need to be taken. In fact, the sky is still giving. It looks beautiful, and I almost want to take some more pictures, but I've done what I needed to do. So yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging with me, you guys, and until the next one, I love y'all. Peace.